Amen. Real quick, why Georgia voting still matters, or why voting still matters in Georgia. Many of you know that I take a very hardline stance on voting. I believe we should do it no matter what. I've had some egg on my face, obviously, since November. Palmetto Paratrooper will probably comment. He's pretty vocal the other way. He thinks voting is not important. I respectfully disagree with him. And even though he's been proven right, this last November, was it 4th? Was it November 4th? I think it was November 4th. Well, he was proven right in the presidential election. They stole it. They just straight up stole it. I still think it's important to vote. And maybe I just haven't been completely red-pilled yet. Maybe I haven't been completely deprogrammed yet. But there's two reasons why I think it's important to vote. Still, tomorrow. I will be voting tomorrow when the polls open. It'll be today when you are watching this. So by the time y'all watch this, most of you, I will have already voted. First thing is why I still think it's important. First off, if we vote, it makes it harder for them to steal it. That doesn't mean they can't steal it, but it means they have to be very honest about having stolen it. Well, not honest, but everyone knows. If I vote, they can't steal my vote. If I vote, that's one less vote that they can take and give to satanic, pagan, socialist, baby murdering perverts. And I'm not really QAnon, but there's a modicum of truth at the bottom of all that. Maybe way more than a modicum. So for that reason alone, that's reason one. If I go vote, they can't steal that vote. They can't act like, actually there's three reasons why I'm going to say I should vote. I should think these things through before I make the videos. So they can't steal my vote, so that they can't, it makes it harder for them to steal. Number two reason is so that they can't pretend like my silence is acquiescence. Like they can say, oh, Zach didn't vote, so he doesn't care about our agenda of socialism, baby murdering, warmongering, treasure stealing, perversity. When we vote against all that, we're at least registering our protest. They can't pretend like everyone agrees with them. And it's important for our conscience before God that we have declared ourselves in opposition to this Satanism. I don't like to get religious a lot, but I frequently end up getting religious. If that word freaks you out, then say, whatever you want. Lawlessness. And the third reason is just that, look, right there. We have a heritage. That knife is the sax. It's the traditional sort of utility knife of Anglo-Saxon forebears. People who, when they first formed their society, believed in a patriarchal anarchy. That if a man could arm himself, if a man was armed, for these people who carried that sax, if he was armed, he was a free citizen, and he was a free a stead holder or whatever. That's our legacy. And then you see right it's on top of the old ammo pouches that kind of bookends what I'm talking about here. We have a legacy that was handed down to us from the forebears of our culture, even if you're not personally Anglo-Saxon, although most of you really are, even those of you who don't look at, if your people have been here for any length of time, you've probably already been grafted in, if not actually literally genetically Anglo-Saxon at this point. But then even in the modern era, men have fought and died, and now increasingly women, even though that's wrong, still they're doing it. For us to have this right, even if it doesn't count, we owe it to that legacy to not let it go away. We still need to have that established norm. It's normal for us to voice our opinion and try to exercise a role in our governance, handed down to us from all the way from Anglo-Saxon times down to the modern era. And we can't let that go away. We can't, even if it's not being done correctly right now, or even being done perversely right now, we still can't say, oh, screw it, and walk away from it. We have to still exercise that, say this is ours, and let them know what our expectations are. So for all those reasons, I will have voted already this morning. I'll let you know how I will have voted. I don't have to tell you, but just in case you're not sure and it means anything to you, I will be voting straight Republican, Loeffler and Perdue, even though they may not have been my first choices. They're still far better than the alternative. If you are in Georgia and you value my opinion at all, I would ask you to please vote tomorrow and to vote correctly. Even if you don't think it's going to get counted correctly, you will have not let them stolen your vote. You will have declared your conscience before God and man that you don't agree with this hideousness that's going on in our world, and you will have been done at least something to state that this is a legacy that was given to you, and that in whatever form you expect to give it to your sons and daughters. Preferably sons, but daughters too for the time being, until the revolution, and we can reestablish our patriarchal patriarchal anarchism. I'm an anarchist now. Admittedly, an anarchist voting straight Republican ticket tomorrow, so I don't know how real of an anarchist I am. But there you go, man. It still matters. It's still important. What's important in this world is what you do, not what people around you do. You never want to be reactive. You always want to be proactive. For these 3 reasons, I think it's important that we in Georgia vote tomorrow. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.